Welcome, everyone, to the Holstein House podcast. I'm the West Virginia woman, Robin, of RobinHolstein.com and Holstein House, where my guests get a great night's sleep at a fair rate plus breakfast. This is a podcast that looks at society and culture issues affecting families in West Virginia and the United States, from food preparation and storage, gardening, home repairs, current events, and more. We'll go around the table and back in 60 minutes or less. So let's hang out and talk a while. Good morning, all y'all. How you doing? It is Friday, August the 11th, and it feels like the end of summer already. I don't mean the temperature and stuff. I just mean kind of the atmosphere. It just feels like summer's over. We'll probably get more hot weather, but the kids will be going back to school here pretty soon. They've got this weird calendar now that they start in August and finish in May or something crazy. And in my brain, it's still Labor Day to June the 8th. That's when school should be. So I am Robin Holstein. This is episode 88 of the Holstein House broadcast. Friday's Live Unscripted. Catching up on things from the week, answering questions on hosting BNB from your home, answering questions on food preparation and storage, or how my little homestead is working, and I mean little homestead. And today I think we'll talk a little bit about the Barbie movie, yes or no, and National Sons and Daughters Day. So, and anything else you guys want to. So you guys chime in. Let me know you're here. Say, hey, there is a delay. I don't know how much it is, maybe about 20 seconds. So if you do ask a question in the comments, give me a few seconds to see it. I may not see it right away, and then give me a chance to answer it. So please be patient. I'll try to be patient as well. So I've got a live feed going over on Rumble, or it's supposed to be there. Let me double check. But Rumble does not show up. Your comments do not show up in StreamYard. So I can see your comments in the live feed or the live chat, but I don't see them on the StreamYard connection. So I have to remember to look over and see you guys. Let me just say good morning, MOR, Lord, Rumble. And I would stay with you over here this morning. And then you guys be sure and let me know that you're there. Because, I want to know. Well, it's the end of the week. Man, oh man, this has been a tough week for me. I hope it's been easier for you. I've had quite a few things going on. Dad had, he had an appointment with the pulmonologist, and I think, did I share that? I think I shared that with you. It went okay. We had to take him in the wheelchair. He wasn't a fan of that, but he's having so much trouble with his back. It's about the only thing we can do. He has not heard back from the general practitioner. He's got another appointment coming up. Excuse me. I think it's in September. I don't know if he'll be able to wait that long. He may have me take him sooner than that. Of course. Let's see. We've got too many windows open over here and things are bogging down. But so we took him to the pulmonologist. Wednesday I had Bibles and brunch. Then we had our lunch and learn at the church, which had me busy there. And the coop come in, the new extension to the coop come in, and it actually came in early. Why is that listed down there? That's crazy. Had a dentist appointment yesterday. No, Thursday. Had a dentist appointment Thursday, and Dad and I had our No, I had it Wednesday. So I had this week. That's what I was telling you. So we took Dad to his pulmonologist on Monday. Um, Wednesday, I had my Bibles and brunch, and had the lunch and learn, which was a workshop that I did for the lunch and learn. Then I went to the dentist, had a tooth worked on. Yesterday, Dad and I both had stress tests, and honest, talk about stress. It's not just a stress on your heart. My heavens, we were there all blessed day. I had to pick him up around 9 o'clock, and it was kind of rainy and icky, so that made things that much more fun. We had to be there at 9:45, but I have to load in the wheelchair and stuff now, so and get parked and all that. So got him settled in. We got started pretty much on time, but this thing takes forever. And even though there's only about 6 people, I mean, it just takes all day. So so you go in and of course, you wait till it's your turn, but they start an IV. I always called them heparin locks. I don't know what they're called nowadays, but they're just like a little shunt that they put in, that you can connect an IV to, but they can give you medications through it too, but it's not, you don't have the whole IV thing happening. So they start you out with that. They put some dye in. Then you have to wait a while. I think it's about 20 minutes. You have to wait at least. Now you end up sometimes waiting longer than that, but then you get on the table, and they have a camera that does images, and it takes 20 minutes, and this thing just goes around you like this and takes images, and you have to lay still, of course, and that's always fun on those steel beds or aluminum beds, especially when you have back issues. And so we did that. And of course, now remember, this is times 2 because Dad's doing it as well. We're back to back there. And then you have to wait, I don't know how long after that. Then let me think. Then you go back for the stress test. Well, in the past stress tests I've had, I've gotten on the treadmill and I've walked it. Last time I got on it, I didn't do as well, and he kept asking me, "Do you want to stop? Do you want to stop?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm okay." And I never really got my heart rate up to where he wanted it. So this time I did the medication one, and I don't know if they're technically called vasodilators, but that's what they do. They dilate your whole circulatory system, and your heart races and stuff. And I mean, I have had migraines in my life, and I got one of the most awful headaches, and the light hurt my eyes, and my jaw was killing me, and I just felt bad overall. And she said, how are you feeling? I said, well, it's just not, my jaw is killing me. The lights are killing me. I don't feel good. And so she said, well, I want to do this and I want to do that. And here's some more dye. Of course, the doctor had been there. The doctor administered the whatever it was, that the medication they used for the stress test. And so he was there, but the lights was hurting my eyes so bad. I just didn't even, I had kept my eyes shut the whole time, or 90% of it. And she finished it up, and then she said, we have to wait a while for it. Now you can eat because you have to go in fasting, and now you can eat and drink some coffee and stuff and take any medications. My blood pressure was really high when I went in, and because they take it before they start all this. And she says, oh no, that's okay because you haven't taken your medicine. I said, I don't take blood pressure medicine. So I'm not on any blood pressure medicine. And it was really high, but it was back down to averages and I think it was just nervousness over the whole day. And it just was an exhausting day. So I go through all of that. Oh, and then we have the ultrasound of the heart. Then I had ultrasounds of the veins in my legs, I think it was just the veins, and had that done, and then go back in and finish it. And I didn't get home till I was after 3. I was exhausted. So just a long, long day. And had Dad out too, so it was long for him as well. So, and now I'm kind of paying for my back, feeling bad. So that's, there's that. I talked a little bit about the workshop on sprouting. It went really well. Well, for the number of people, I mean, it wasn't like people tearing the place down to get in. I had about 5 or 6 because one lady came in late. We had 6 people there, and but let me see if I can share the just the setup. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It should be here. It should be. Why is it not here? Oh, here. Okay, let me do it this way because there's one you don't need to see. Actually, when I was at the dentist, I took my phone and let me pretend like this is the phone. I took my phone. I was laying in the dental chair, and they had the computer monitor over here with a picture of the X-ray of my teeth. I took my phone and I zoomed in on that. Took a picture of my X-ray of my teeth. And I'm glad I did because it's still hurting. I'm going to end up having to have it pulled. I know I will. I don't do root canals. Not fooling with it. I'm of the opinion you need to fix it and move on. And people that I know who've had root canals, now I know there's people who've had root canals that's been very successful, but I don't know them. The people that I know that have had a root canal, number one, you go through all that insanity to get it done, to kill the nerve in the tooth and to save the tooth, save the shell of the tooth. Then they end up having issues with that tooth for the next couple years, and then they end up having the tooth pulled. So I'm not a fan of root canals. So let me see if I can share this with you guys. Oh, it didn't. There it goes. Okay. Let me do this. See if I can full screen it for you. So this was just the setup for the Sprouts workshop. These are some mason jars I gave away to people who came. These are some stands that I showed them how to use. These are the sprout mix that we got. I put those in, gave each person a small container of sprouts. Actually, it ends up being a tablespoon is what I gave them. This is a handout that I created for the workshop with some information on the nutrition of sprouts and how the steps to go through to do it. This is obviously a display of how to set the jars up and stuff. I don't know if you can see these or not. What these are here are 2 different types of screens that I made. One is made with the screen that you get to put in your dehydrators, food grade silicone screen things. Well, my trays, the ones that I bought were about 2.5 inches too long, maybe 3. Maybe it was 3. Anyway, they were too long, and I had to cut them off. And I made these screens from the remainder of that dehydrator screen. I know I'm saying screen 1,000 times, but that's what it is. Then this one over here is made from the plastic canvas that you get to do cross stitch with. So I purchased a piece of that to try these screens. They work well. They do get kind of gooey, and I guess that's because they're not technically food grade, but they do work fine. But they will get kind of gooey if you don't clean them very well. This screen here is purchased. It's a stainless screen that you use with regular mouth mason jars. With the stainless one here for the regular mouth, you have to add the ring to the jar to hold it on. This is an all-in-one piece that I ordered. It's a sprouting lid from a company, and I might do a review on that, but it's for a wide mouth jar, and you see me using it right up here on this mason jar. This one is using one of the ones I made from the dehydrator screen. This is these are mung beans here. These are broccoli seeds here. The broccoli seeds didn't do very well for me, but it was fine for the example. And of course, the mung beans, they just go crazy, and they're pretty good. This is another package of seeds, starter seeds. It's like a starter set. So it went well. I was able to explain to everybody the basic process of how to do your own sprouts and why you would want to. I mean, I think that's a question a lot of people have. Why in the world would I want to? Why would I bother with sprouting my own seeds? And that's just an option, especially in the wintertime when you don't have fresh vegetables out and you need some crunch, you need some nutrition. Sprouting those seeds, sprouting grain seeds and nuts, because I mean you can sprout. I haven't sprouted walnuts or anything yet, um, but I, I may try that. I may try that. Walnuts, almonds. Oh, that's not it. Walnuts, almonds, and what was the other one? I can't remember now. Sunflower. No, that's a seed. Walnuts, almonds, and oh darn it. Anyway, you can there are several different brands of several different types uh, of nuts and seeds and grains that you can sprout, and they pack a ton of nutrition in that little bit of size, because the majority of the nutrition happens in the smaller sprout. When you sprout them to about oh an inch, 3/4 of an inch or so, that's where the real good nutrition is. So I'm not sure who my channel is, but hello, my channel, and welcome. I see that you are trying to catch up. And that's fine. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Yeah, Rumble. We are streaming on Rumble as well. So I do have a little note over there to welcome folks over to Rumble. So, but it'll be here. You can catch up. It's fine, and you're welcome to ask questions, and I'll try to do my best to answer them, or I will do my best, because technically, you don't try to do your best. You either do your best or you don't. So that's that on the sprouting workshop. Like I said, it went pretty well. They have asked for dehydrating. I'm going to do one on dehydrating. And these are just basic workshops for the greater community, for anyone to come in and try to learn. I was trying to see if I had any other images I wanted to share with you guys about this stuff. Well, that's the cream cheese workshop, and we've already talked about that. So I think we're good for now on that. Oh, what else did we do? No, not that. Get out of there, you. There's an extension class. The West Virginia State University Extension Service is having a class on home canning salsa. And that's next Thursday. I've registered to go and will probably attend unless something really weird happens. They have several good workshops, but what I want to do is I want to have a good conversation with them about the possibility of doing a home canning master class, and see if that's possible and what it would take to get them to do one. I know they have been offered in the past. I shared some information with John Kessel, Dr. John Kessel from the West Virginia State University Extension Office, who came and spoke to us a few weeks ago. We talked at length about that, and one of the concerns that he had was liability. If they taught something and someone come back and said, I did this and it poisoned me, gave me food poison or something, was there some kind of liability? There are other courses out there, but there's not a master canner class that I'm aware of. So I did find some links. I've shared those before. Just got to dental health right offers dental if your income is. I have dental coverage. I thank you, my channel. That is good information for other people to have. Health Right offers offers dental if your income is within 250% of the poverty level. That's like $35,000 per person, and they have a mobile trailer that goes around servicing various. I haven't seen it, but I have heard. I think I saw a story on the news about the mobile Health Right office. So I'm not sure how they work. We have a relative that used to use Health Right almost exclusively, and she may still. but she has we don't see her very much anymore, but she doesn't get around well, and she lives out in Lincoln County. Um, but she used to go to Health Right quite a bit, and they did a lot for her. So it was good to have them there. The extension office, I'm going to try that and try to see if I can work with them too. And maybe they have something that is the same. I do can. I have home can, and pressure can, and water bath can for years. So I don't. It's not that I won't learn anything. You can always learn something, but I'd really like to be able to get that um, master canning class together somewhere for folks to have. I just know so many people who continue to try to can like grandma did, and you can't do that. You can't do that. So um, I just feel the need to and plus it it can help people save money and feed their families and stuff. So it's just a little passion for me to try to get them to do that. There's no news on the doghouse. I've reached out to the contractor again, and I still have no word from them. So I don't know. I don't know why it's so difficult, but it is. We now it's not we as in me, but Mr. Holstein and his brother have reached out to a tree contractor because there's a tree that's in bad shape. And it could come down on my mother-in-law's place. So they've decided it's time to take care of this tree. And they got a hold of a guy that said, "Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there Wednesday." Well, Wednesday he didn't come, and he said, "Oh well, yeah, I'll be there Thursday," which was yesterday. Well, he couldn't come yesterday either. So now he's coming Saturday, and who knows if he's gonna. His price is very reasonable for taking down the tree. I think there's a couple other trees out there that they're going to be taken down, and it's reasonable. He's doing it. Yeah, he's not licensed. I mean, I don't. He's licensed. It's a side gig for him. He works for a tree place, and it's a side gig for him to do this job. So, but he's technically not insured. So he's just kind of going out there and doing it. I don't like, especially if it's near a house, I don't like to have someone who's not insured and licensed. So I've had a lot of trouble getting, people that I feel are reasonably priced or priced within the range that I can pay to come do some work on a couple trees. But because if it was just out somewhere, it wasn't endangering a house, it wouldn't matter to me if if the tree fell the wrong direction, as long as nobody was hurt. But when it's around a home, like here, we've got a couple of really, really giant trees, and the contractors we've talked to have called them Tree of Heaven, I think is what they called them. I mean, they're huge, and they're just, if they fall, they may take a whole lot of stuff out. And we don't have, I mean, we've got chainsaws and stuff, but depending on how they fall, if they fall the right direction, there's nothing we can do. So I want to get someone who's insured, because if they bring the tree down and it hits the neighbor's house, I don't want that coming on my homeowner's insurance. So, but they're huge, and you're up on your sprouts. I'm glad that you're up on your sprouts. That's sprouts. I don't do them all the time. I don't have like a continuous, bunch of sprouts going on, but I do them every so often. I'm going to put some more salad seeds in and sprout those up here over the next few days. Modern root canals are much more successful, but a lot of the issues happen because underlying decay issues, maybe diet stress, have not been resolved. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I'm not being in the dental field. I don't know a whole lot about. I only know the anecdotal stuff that I've got to go on, and that's just not been good. And I mean, I could maybe get an implant, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what our insurance would cover because I haven't had to have a lot of um, involved dental work. I've had a couple of extractions, but what happens with those is that they crack. They've cracked with the old fillings, and they cracked really bad. And it's like take them out, take them out, not go forward with it. So I may opt for an implant if our insurance will cover it. But I'm not that. It doesn't. I I'm not afraid of dentures. Okay, I don't want them, but I'm not afraid of them. So um, if I gotta do something, it it's an in between tooth, so I would notice that it's gone, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a I don't want bunches of trips back and forth to the dentist. Take it out, fix it, move on. That's where I'm at. I've got all but two of my teeth, two jaw teeth that are missing because they cracked. And they said, well, we can root canal. I said, nope, take them out. So that's all that is. Fridays are INR days for Dad. So after we finish here and I get the audio uploaded to Fountain FM, I'll be going over to Dad's because he's just not moving around well. And it's his back. That's 100% of what it is. His back, well, his back and his hip hurts him that bad. And so I'll be going over there. He had been coming over here, except when the weather was bad, and it gave him an excuse to come out of the house and move around a little bit. But he hasn't been out of the house other than to the doctor now in several weeks. He hasn't been to church or anything. So I'll go over there. Last week, his INR was 4. Now, that's not good. That's not good at all. And I tested it twice, and I messaged the lady at the doctor's office that we send the report. We send it twice. We send it to the company that runs the machine because the automated system will aggravate you to death. And we also send it over to the nurse at the doctor's office because she asked us one time, why are you not reporting his INR? And I said, well, we are. We've never missed one. And for whatever reason, the INR company's machines weren't connecting with the doctor's office and they weren't getting the reports. But so we started doing both and it works out better. But anyway, he came out with a 4 and it needs to be 2, right around 2. So it was twice as thin as it should have been. and so we had to make a major adjustment. So we'll see. But the doctor said that he thinks it's the antibiotic that he gave Dad for his UTI that caused that because it will. And that was the only difference in his medication was the antibiotic for the UTI. Yeah. So I don't know if talking about canning again. I don't know if previous classes had waivers. Could be, but one of the more successful, because we're in a cycle. Still talking about canning, we're in a cycle of not trusting the government with anything, and I get it. Hang on. But canning, grandma, if your grandma used to put applesauce in the jar and turn the jar upside down and count that as canning, that's not you almost got it. It's all right. You don't have to worry about it. We've got some time yet. You can work on catching up. But yeah, people, you can't. There are so many things different in today's world than it was in grandma or great grandma's day. For me, it would be grandma. For my son, it would be great grandma because my mother didn't home can. His paternal grandmother, as far as I know, I don't remember that she ever home canned. So it would be the next generation up that did. And things have changed so much. that the dogs are barking. Things have changed so much with agriculture and our food and stuff that's the ways that we used to do things. It doesn't work the same way anymore. So hold on just a minute. Sorry about that. He didn't need a band-aid. He had just a tiny little place on him. So, okay. Sorry. If you're still there, let's see. I have a question about chicken feed. Did anything ever come of the allegation that there was something in the feed supply causing them to stop laying? People would switch to local feed in the issue. And the issue went away. I never had any issue with it, and I am seeing more and more people say that they didn't really notice an issue, that a lot of the comments appeared to be coming from people who'd never had chickens before. And so what happens with chickens, for anybody that doesn't know, is you raise, let's say you get them in the spring, they start laying in August or September. They lay that first winter. Then after they get a year old, they don't lay all winter, because unless you give them artificial light, they need about 14 hours a day of light. If you light the coop in addition to the regular sunlight to make a balance of 14 hours, then they will tend to lay all year. I don't like my coop. I let them lay. They lay when they're going to, because I have enough chickens that even with them not laying every day, and some of them not laying at all through the winter, we're fine. Plus, if you know this, you plan it ahead of time, and you can put. I've put eggs in lime water, and it's pickling lime, not agricultural lime for the yard, but I've done that and they keep pretty well. I have some that I need to check now that will be on their second winter, so they're almost 2 years old, and that's about as far out as you can do it. But I haven't seen. My chickens and ducks didn't experience any difference in their laying habits through that spell than I had seen with chickens and ducks in the past. So I can't, I can't say that everybody, their chickens. I just think it's been a lot of people who didn't understand, because when when everybody was at home and they were having to figure things out, they were starting to keep um, chickens and ducks and rabbits and stuff. Um, that's about the timeline is about right for those those second winter hens to not lay as often. And if you were feeding them store-bought food, then you tended to blame that, because we wanted to blame people for everything. I didn't have any trouble. I didn't see any difference at all. I did see a little improvement when I put duck feed out. Now, duck feed is a lot higher protein content, and chickens need a lot of protein when they're laying eggs. So, but they've only got X amount of eggs anyway. So let's say 100. I don't know I don't know that anybody knows the exact number, but let's say a hen has the ability to lay 100 eggs. Try as you might, you cannot get 101 out of her. That's all you're going to get is 100. So I did see an increase in production with the added protein, because I got my chickens and ducks together and I put the duck feed out and the chickens would eat it as well. And it seemed to help. But, there's so many things that could be part of that picture: lengthening number of daylight hours, warming weather and stuff. So I don't think that there was anything major with that. I think people didn't know. And so some people wanted to say, oh, it's the feed. You got to feed them this natural stuff. But you got to be careful with that too, because they need certain vitamins and minerals, just like humans do, that they're not necessarily going to get from your backyard in the suburbs. There are minerals and things in the ground, in the grasses, in the bugs that they're going to eat that um, in well kept yards and stuff they're not going to get. So there's some of that too. But like I said, I didn't have any trouble. Let's see. Oh, we've got a traveling nurse coming in Sunday. She's only coming in for a couple of evenings. She's got a place to stay. She's just in between, with her. So then we got a young man coming in on Friday who's traveling down to Georgia, and is going to stop on his way as far as Holstein House, the B&B, is going. So I've got some stocking up to do. I don't think I need anything. I need to. Oh, Central West Virginia. Well, glad to have you. Glad to have you, Central West Virginia, right in the middle. I'm down in Kanawha County, not quite in the middle. I'm in eastern Kanawha County, down close to the Shillian Bridge, the Shillian exit of the Turnpike. So good to connect. We need to connect. So you are, let me think, are you near Flatwood? Or out, let me think. That is Braxton County, isn't it? Flatwoods is in Braxton. And it's used to brag that it was the center of West Virginia. Calhoun County. Okay, gotcha. We have land vetted for vetted people to stay on, but no housing. Would like to have more couples interested in farming and ranching on the farm. So, are you doing like the oh darn, what is it? Hip camp. Are you doing something like the hip camp HIP? Yeah, 15-second delay. It's where you let people come and of course now that's an act that's like Airbnb, except it's for camping. I signed up for that and it didn't work out because I don't have enough acreage. So Be sure and if you're not, I have. Oops, let me take that banner off. I forgot to take the banner off. The nephew needs a Band-Aid. I have other social media connections. If you're interested in connecting up on one of the other ones, we have the Telegram group t.me/Holstein House. If you're familiar or connected on Telegram, I think I have it set where you have to be approved to keep out the spammers, but now when I signed up for HipCamp, they wanted photos of the property and a description, just like if you were setting up your page. Telegram. Let me see if I can get it. It should be in the show notes, but let me see if I can get it, and I'll drop it in there. I can just type it in there, but I'm afraid I would type a mistake in there. Oh, I know it's right there. Where to go? Hang on a second, I'll get it. But yeah, when the thing with HipCamp was that I just don't have enough property. What I thought, yeah, that should be it. What I thought, how I thought it would work was I would be able to use just a little portion of our property, and we've got a decent sized yard, and the idea was to set it up and let people swing by and stop for the evening, and have a tent or whatever. I think that's you. I'm going to add you. Behold a chair. You better behave. Did you find it? HipCamp. Let me see. They what I had to do with them was send a picture and a description and stuff. Do I have it on here though? I don't think I have it on here because they turned me down. They initially approved it, and I thought, oh yay! And I had some cups made. I had these little cups made. They're enameled cups, and was making some cards and stuff. And then I got a message from them that I didn't actually. Oops! It was like, oops, we shouldn't have approved you because there's no privacy for your guests. And I thought, well, the whole point of it was just to let somebody stop and let me see. To let somebody hear, it should be the link to HipCamp there. Not mine, because I don't have one. Well, I have an account, but I don't have a site because I don't have enough property. But I had already decided that there was X amount of space here that someone could put a tent. I had outdoor toileting facility set up with one of those pop-up shower toilet things that you get, and had a plan on how to deal with that kind of waste. And I had a hand washing station. I had everything I needed just for a person or two to stop by on their way, just like I do with the Airbnb, but they turned me down. So I can still do it. I can still do it on my own. I just haven't, because now I'm into some other projects. But I don't know how familiar you are with some things that out there that I got too many pages open. There is a self-reliance festival coming up, in Tennessee, and it's really popular with some of the folks that I follow on social media. And I'm getting ready to build a package for some folks if they're traveling down through this area to get to the Self-Reliance Festival. And I'm going to do a special promotional code for that. And I'm going to try to work out, we've got to move our camper anyway. And we'll try to work out on the yard where people could, I could probably have 3 or 4 people, tent camp for the night or 2. And I can provide their breakfast as well. I can work that out for folks coming through. So that was a thought I had for that. And I mentioned it to Tim Cook that I could do that because he's going to have some folks meet him in Tennessee to work on his property. And I talked to him. I said, do you care if I, kind of post this on your page? And he said, no, that's fine, on his Telegram page. So there's that. Kind of all over the place now this afternoon, but that's okay because it's unscripted. So the expansion kit for the chicken run, poultry house run, whatever you want to call it, came in early. It actually came in Wednesday. It wasn't due till today. So it's still sitting on my front porch. It's pretty heavy. I didn't think it was that heavy. It matches up with the style of aluminum frame place that we've got now, and I'm going to add that and get a replacement. It's one of those coops that you buy like at Rural King or Tractor Supply, and it's really it's really small. I mean, the thing says like you can keep 4 or 5 chickens in it, but honestly, you wouldn't keep more than 2, if that. I mean, a couple bannies maybe, but I've had it ever since I started having chickens here, and they're used to laying in it, and so I want to try it. I need to keep something like it, so I need to get a replacement for that. Even though I have the actual coop, and then I have but the point is I'm expanding the poultry run so that I can have a few more chickens. So the ones that I have are getting to the point, and we talked a little bit about the concern about the commercial feed causing them not to lay. But mine are aging to the point where I need to decide if they're going into the freezer for pressure cooking because they're too old. You wouldn't want to like try to roast them or anything. They're too old of a bird. But they would probably make chicken and dumplings okay because of pressure cook that or what. But they're getting up there in age, and it's going to be time to dispatch a few of those. So I got the expansion kit. I need to get that up. I want to try to get that up. Really, I wanted to try to get it up tomorrow, but there's calling for some spotty showers and storms and stuff, and I got the property to clear off. I've got to do some stuff today in town so that I can't. I can get it moved around and start clearing off the ground and moving some stuff out of the way and getting it laid out and stuff. But probably won't get it put together today. Probably I hope tomorrow, but I'm not sure what the weather's going to do. Storms are supposed to be popping up. I got it on Amazon. It's I don't know if you pronounce it Bellanova chicken coop. I'll put the link in the show notes here in a little bit and update that. But it's pretty good size. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it's tall. It's 8 feet tall, maybe 6, but it's rounded on the top, and it's 10 by 10 by 6, I think is what it is. And the netting around it's really kind of thin, but I don't have a lot of predator pressure. So it's inside the yard. The yard's fenced, and it's situated where there's some. I mean, the worst thing that could probably get to them right now would be snakes, and we've not had any issue with snakes. Something could dig in, but there's no signs of anything digging at this point. So, and they're at night anyway. They're in the coop with the thing closed up, so they're not exposed at night. They all go in, and there's nothing that could get in there because it's not Rubbermaid brand, but it's a plastic storage building, 7x7 storage building that I've converted into a coop. I cut ventilation in the top of it, and I've got pet doors on the sides, and I don't have them automated. I don't want them automated, but they're in there. So that's at least one little thing that I'm able to get going so far this month. I mean, it's just been crazy. There are several things coming up. I want to talk a little bit about the things that are going on in the area for people who may want to come and stay. We've got the Rails and Ales Craft Beer Festival down in Huntington. That's about an hour away. Summerfest is in South Charleston. It should be this next weekend, starting next week. It's fun. It's a lot of carnival rides and that kind of stuff. Just a little city festival. Hillbilly Days in Hamlin is on the 18th and 19th. Parkersburg Homecoming Days is on the 18th and 19th. Appalachian Festival in Beckley is on the 18th and the 19th and the 20th, and then on the 21st and 22nd. So it's a couple of different weekends. Fly-In Festival, and I'm not really sure what that is, but it's in Huntington on the 24th through the 26th. I'm going to assume that's aviation related. Let me see. Is my link any good? Oh, it takes me to a Facebook page. I don't want to do that. I mean, I could, but I don't want to. West Virginia Cupcake Festival in Hurricane. That sounds like a deliciously fun time. That's the 24th and 20th through the 26th. Metal in the Mountains out at Pipestem. That's about an hour away. West Virginia State Honey Festival in Parkersburg. Now that's 45 minutes to an hour, but that's going to be fun. And then the Huntington Music and Arts Festival, the 28th through September 2nd, so that's Labor Day weekend. And then Oak Hill Oak Leaf Festival, the 31st through the 3rd, so that's Labor Day weekend as well. Can you believe this is the 11th, so we're like 2.5-3 weeks before Labor Day. I mean, isn't it crazy? And Labor Day is in the United States, for those of you who are in the US, is the unofficial ending of summer. So many of us, millions of us here in the United States started school. That's when the school calendar year started, was after Labor Day. And it just feels like fall is already. I'm starting to itch to put my autumn decorations out, and it's not time. Actually, I didn't bring it down. I was going to bring it down. Actually, I've got a newsletter from our Department of Agriculture that with some fall garden, sowing things that I should have already gotten out this week. Some cooler weather foods and like a second round of green beans. I didn't think about that. I could do that. Oh, let's see. Anything exciting going on here? For those of you that that aren't watching, I'm just kind of scrolling through some notes that I have. I mean, the only other thing. Oh, I know. Well, we were going to talk about the Barbie movie. Are you going to go see it? I'm not. That's the short of it. I'm not going to go see any stupid Barbie movie. I've seen some controversy about the Barbie movie, that it's mean to men and it's stupid, but I mean it's Barbie, for Pete's sakes. Barbie was never brilliant. I would love to see come on, Ken. I would love to see the stats on which version of Barbie sold the best. Was it a professional Barbie? Because Barbie's been a stewardess, she's been a PhD, she's been a doctor, she's been a teacher, she's been, I think, even an astronaut. But I'm thinking, hi, Carla. Glad to see you finally. Where you been? It's almost time to finish up for the day, and you're just rolling in here. But I'd love to see, which version of Barbie sold the best. Now, you kind of have to wait that a little bit because, for forever, from the time they created Barbie probably until the 70s, she was just kind of Paris Hilton. I mean, she had all the stuff, but she didn't have a job. Finals week. I hear you. I remember finals week. I don't get a finals week for my certified lay minister class. It's absolutely insane. I know you've been struggling too. You've had a challenging semester, and but I just didn't think that the certified lay minister class was going to be this. It is very, very challenging. And this is through the United Methodist Church. This is I've done some of the online ones and got certified with other organizations, but man, this is killer. I mean, if I had nothing else to do, if I was on campus somewhere and had a meal card, the only thing I had to do was wash my clothes and walk to the cafeteria, I might be able. It may be different, but with everything else going on, it is a challenge. But no, I'm not paying any attention to the Barbie movie. It's stupid. They're not getting my money. So there's that. What was the other thing? Oh, this is this came up this morning. You got a Methodist coloring book by the Dead Milkman parody song. I don't. You've got a Methodist coloring book by the Dead Milkman parody song. I don't know of the Dead Milkman. I mean, I get that it's a parody, but I've never heard of them, so I don't know. I don't know who that would be. And I'm not opposed to parodies. I'm just saying I don't know who that is. But so before Wayne left for work this morning, television was on, and the national news was like, this is Daughter and Son Day, National Daughter and Son Day or something, and it's a joke that if you color outside the lines, God will take vengeance. I know people like that. I know people like it. I am in some ways. I'm kind of, stay within the lines here, but over here you don't have to. So kind of like a little seed. You got to stay within the lines here, which are, the very basic foundations of salvation, that most of the Christian churches teach. And then after that, but I was having a conversation with someone here, not to get preachy, but because it came up. I was having a conversation with a friend not too long ago, and I told him, I said, just, I'm okay with it being a joke. I'm okay. I'm not upset a bit. But I was telling a friend, he was all tore up about, how could God let this, that, and the other happen? And there are hypocrites. And I mean, the lines that you hear from people who are angry about something that has to do with the church, and they throw all this stuff out there. And I said, here's the best advice I could give you. And I try not to do too much of that. Read the words of Christ. Just read the words of Christ. Don't listen to the TV preachers. Don't listen to the weird preachers that are all painted up all over their body with multiple tattoos and jewelry. And I'm not saying that's wrong, and I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying, just read the words of Christ. And if you read those words and you follow what he tells you, that's what you need to be and do. And the rest of it, the rest of the New Testament, I believe it's inspired by the Holy Spirit. But when you get into people behave this way and people behave that way, and I say, just read the words of Christ and behave the way he tells you to. Start there. And he does. I mean, if you get down into it, He doesn't he doesn't tell people you're wrong. He tells you this is the way to do it. And you can either choose to do it this way or you don't. Betty, the dog, came down here. They've been barking at something. I don't know if you heard it or not, but she got tore up. She gets wound up about. She's a nervous dog. But yeah, I am. For those you may not know that I am taking the certified lay minister instruction, and I started it to try to help my church because our pastor is not able to keep up 2 churches, so he has backed off of everything except the major it went right out my brain. Sacraments. So he comes and does the communion service, and that's about it now. So he our church is struggling like a lot of churches. It is very, very small. Our congregation is very small, but we do have a couple of people, a couple of families who continue to send in their money. We were, during the period that everyone was locked down, we were hit with some deaths of our older members. Several of our older members got to where they couldn't come out and couldn't come to the church. We had 3 families move away, so we got hit pretty hard. Not directly related to the reasons for the lockdown, but it has hurt us, and we're trying to grow back. And it's I felt the call that I need to be part of that. I need to try to help build the church back. So this is part of what I'm doing. I try not to get preachy here on the Holstein House broadcast because that's not what I'm here for. This isn't church service. But if you want to talk about that, we can. So, oh, pardon me for my itchy nose. I'm going to have to edit the audio version because they can't see in the audio version when the I said nephew, but it's my grandnephew. It's my niece's son. The grandnephew come in needing a Band-Aid and all of that dead air. I'm going to have to edit that out, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I appreciate you stopping in. Carla, I'm glad you were here. If you're still here, I'm glad you're still here. We got to meet up and have lunch because I get that shirt's still sitting right here. I don't know if you can tell. Right there it says Carla. It's in the package. That's your shirt. I've had it forever. But yeah, gotta get some time to do it. Got to get some time to do it for sure. But getting back to the real quick before we finish up the special day thing. Mr. Holstein looked over at me and he said, "Is every day a special day? Mother's Day, Father's Day, Daughters and Son Day, Dog Day, Ice Cream Day? Is every day?" I said, "Yes, every day is a special day. Therefore, no day is a special day." Because if you remember your Lake Wobegon, where all the children are special or above average, I think it's about all the children are above average, which means none of the children are above average because average changed. But we're gonna try to do if you are in Kanawha County, West Virginia, or close enough to Kanawha County that you would be interested in coming to a workshop, we're going to be doing, well, next week our church is hosting, and these aren't church events. These aren't preaching and singing religious events. These are just community education type events. We have, and then I tell you, we have communications persons from Heart and Hand. Jenny Keener, the donation and volunteer coordinator from Heart and Hands Ministry, is coming to speak to us this Wednesday at noon. It's open to anybody that wants to come. Lunch and learn, free lunch, at the Diamond United Methodist Church in Diamond, West Virginia, Kanawha County. So she's coming to speak about the programs that they offer. They're going to be doing a walk. It's a special walk for, oh, darn it. I had it. Let me see. Did I write it in the newsletter? This is the newsletter for the church. Walk for. Oh, it's not even walk. It's hike for the for hunger. They'll be raising money for their food pantry. Hike for hunger. That's this Wednesday, the 16th of August, 2023. Every day is a gift. That's why we call it a present. Yeah, it is. It is a gift. But when man decides, oh, they're all marketing. This is National Son and Daughters Day. And I looked at Mr. Holstein and I said, that's Christmas. Christmas is the day for kids. Thanksgiving's for grown-ups. Christmas is for kids. Mother's Day and Father's Day, I'm okay with that, I guess. But you start doing these National Dog Day, National Cat Day, National this. It's just marketing to get you to buy stuff, people. Quit buying it. But then the following Wednesday, the 23rd of August, 2023, at noon, at the Diamond United Methodist Church in our fellowship hall, Susan LeFew will be here for AARP, and she's going to be talking about protecting yourself from fraud and scams. And then after that, I'm going to do the dehydrating workshop. So I've got a couple of older manuals. I did just recently get the one from Purposeful Pantry, and I will give that a look and see how it goes, and then we'll do it. I've been dehydrating for a long time as well, so we'll do a workshop on that for anybody in the area that wants to do it. And then I got to work up some new ones because I'm about out of ideas. I had some of the ladies say that they'd like to have a workshop on floral ranging for the fall, and then one on fermenting vegetables. So I may do that. I do those here as well. Daisy thinks every day is Dog Day, also known as I get a cheesy roll up from the Bell Day. You know, I have to be careful. I can't give I know you're being facetious. I can't give my dogs just anything. I have to really read the dumb labels on pet foods. Now, my cats can eat just about anything, cat food wise, but the dogs have poultry allergies. And you'd be amazed when you start having to read labels for stupid dogs, the amount of stuff that has chicken or poultry byproducts in it, and they can't have it. They can't have it. Well, Carla, I am so glad to see you. There's a couple people that are watching that haven't said hello, and I'm sorry about that. I wish you would say hello so I could say hello back and put your name out there, out in the open. And put your name out there for people to hear. Oh, I remember that. Your dogs have a rough time. Oh, yeah, they have a really rough time. Yeah, they got the only thing rough about their life is that they can't have poultry. And they'll eat the cat food anyway. And then they scratch all over the place. So, let's see. There's nobody over there. I just want to let that go. There's nobody over here. So, oops. I'm trying to close out some windows here. Got too many things opened. Because we're going to have to start winding down now. So if you're out there, say hello. I'll give you a few seconds left to say hello before I start shutting everything down. Here at Holstein House, hey, if you are traveling, if you're just kind of hanging out, if you're traveling to or through West Virginia on the Turnpike, West Virginia Turnpike, Interstates 6477, and you're looking for a spot to stay on your way, go to robinholstein.com and check out Holstein House on the menu. And then we do accept people through Airbnb, but I prefer that you direct book because it saves you money and it saves me money. And if you use the promotional code podcast5, PODCAST 5, you'll get 5% off when you direct book only. We do have a special running. It's almost pretty continuous special of the coffee and chocolate package where you get freshly hand ground coffee from Coal River Coffee is their Almost Heaven blend. And Hall's chocolates, West Virginia's Hall's chocolates, as a special offer when you direct book and select that one. You get that for your first night. So don't forget your special promo code. But like I said, we do accept Airbnb. And give me just a second. We do accept Airbnb, and we're also on AirBTC, which is a brand new option. They work in the Bitcoin world, so you can pay with Bitcoin there, and I can accept in Bitcoin there. If you use it, you don't have to. But we'd love to have you come and stay as you travel through or to West Virginia. So go to robinholstein.com and check Holstein House on the menu and use that link and check for the dates to see if they're available. I do appreciate you being here, folks. I know it takes a few seconds for everything to catch up with the delay and everything, but I'm going to start wrapping it up now. And I thank you so much for being here, and I thank you so much for your comments and your interaction. And I'm going to end it there and tell you to come back on Tuesday morning at 10. We'll have another live. So it's Tuesday live. It's a little more scripted. I try to stay a little more to the topics than anything, but yeah. We'll be here again Tuesday morning at 10. And be sure to like and subscribe so that you'll know when we're here and you'll get notifications. So until next time, we will see you then. Bye-bye. So there you have it. Post your comments, do all that boosting, liking, sharing, thumbs up, and stuff that helps spread the word and poke the algorithms. Follow me on most of the big social media platforms and look for my name, Robin Holstein, or Holstein House. Till next time, bye-bye.